Okay, well, it's a little bit later, and I'm going to do this really quickly. I came on YouTube, and I noticed that there was a hater comment on my profile. In fact, there were two. One was just obviously a child, at least a child in their mind, put like a ASCII character of flipping the bird at me. And his username had a racial slur in it, so I went and blocked him and took the thing off my profile. But the other one was from one of Zen Archer's fans. And they were upset and said that I didn't know what I was talking about, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to say this, and this is going to be my last thing. Maurice accidentally, or without thinking, gave away some private information about Zen Archer online. But obviously, this information was already online. And so Maurice made the assumption that it was common knowledge. I went in to stick him, in fact, after all this, hoorah came about, and tried to convince Zen Archer and Pipistrello that if they are thinking that anything, even if you mark it private on your profile, if you mark it private anywhere, if it is online, if it is floating about in cyberspace, do not ever delude yourself that that is private ever again. The only way you can keep anything private is by shutting off your computer. Okay? So if you are one of those many people who are under the delusion that you can encrypt to keep people out, or you can't. Okay? You can't. And so anytime you put anything on the internet, just assume that God is going to read it. Okay? So that's the thing that got me in the whole thing with Maurice and Zen Archer, is that Maurice tried to be apologetic, and Zen Archer came back with malicious crap, a kind of violent sheep is what I call it. It's passive-aggressive stuff where he put a video up without naming names because, he put a video up that passively aggressively attacked Maurice. Maurice, feeling really badly about it, was hurt, but not only did Zen Archer have to stick the blade in, but he had to twist the knife. So that's what happened, in my view, just as an outsider, okay? And it pissed me off. And Zen Archer is still doing the same thing, He doesn't give a shit about anyone but himself. Okay, then the other thing this hater said is that I don't look at the camera. No, I don't, and I won't. I'm sorry. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I haven't even found a way to look straight into the camera and make it appear that I'm looking at you like other people do. I've tried it. It doesn't work. I look like I'm, look like Marty Feldman, with eyeballs shifting every which direction because I don't know what I'm looking at. So I have to have something visual. And generally, a lot of the time, I'm looking at this. This is a vase, of flowers, dried flowers that Newt gave me, and so I think when I'm looking, that I'm looking at Newt. Another thing is if I had my choice, I would have a video camera that would follow me around the house, and I would be talking to you while I was doing stuff, and I wouldn't be looking at you then either. I'd be wiping my stove or washing my dishes, and I'd have a random thought and click on the thing right in front of me, in front of my face, and start talking to you. Would I be looking at you? No, I'd be, washing off my stove or vacuuming or something else while I was talking. So this crap about looking straight into the camera, it comes from, I guess, talking heads on television, and I'm not a talking head on your television, so I'm not going to look straight in the camera. It just ain't going to happen. Another thing he said something about, I'm stuck in the 60s or whatever. Well, let me tell you something. Everyone draws upon knowledge that they have gained throughout their life. And I was inundated massively with information about how life works when I spent from 1968 to 1974 as a homeless person on the street. I learned a great deal about life, even more than I learned when I went to college. So, I draw upon the archetypes of humanity that I learned about while I was living on the streets, and I'm going to use it. I'm sorry that you think it's living in the past, but, I don't toss away good, wise stuff that easily. So, that's all I got to say.